Welcome to the Fitchburg Cultural Council PR Subcommittee meeting. This meeting is called to order at 4:39 p.m. on Monday, June 7th, 2021. This meeting is being recorded and streamed live on Facebook and is available on demand at fatv.org. Please keep in mind when making any comments, be aware of how your screen may appear and that meetings are open to the public. The FCC is a volunteer nonprofit body that is part of the City of Fitchburg's government and the state entity Mass Cultural Council. The PR subcommittee specifically focuses on the council's public relations. This is a non-voting subcommittee. Any voting decisions are brought to the large council, which meets monthly every third Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Our topics today are announcements, FCC TV, call for new members, bookkeeper outreach, annual input and grantee reception, Fitchburg Open Studios, assignments, and adjournment. In the future, if you would like to request a topic of discussion, members of the council or the public or the public may notify me by filling out a form at tinyurl.com/FCC-agenda item, which is posted on our agendas. Just let us know 72 hours, business hours in advance so that it can be added. Otherwise, it'll be added to the following agenda. If there are any comments by the public in writing or live, they may do so at this time. Nate, do we have any other guests? And Joe, you count as a council member.
Nobody else registered for this meeting.
Fantastic. All right, so announcements. Leadership positions. I thank you for those who voted me as chair of the Public Relations Subcommittee and Eileen as one of our co-chairs along with Claudia. I just wanted to start this out by saying my vision or mission for the PR Subcommittee is that the publicity refers to how we communicate with the public. My priorities are promoting the council, our annual grant program, our grant recipients, and our events. My personal focus, as it has been, as I've been a member on this subcommittee, is updating our calendar with grant-funded events, occasionally community events as well, posting about those events on our Facebook group, attending events, and taking photos. Eileen, would you like to say anything? I didn't prep her for this.
I'm sorry.
Would you like to say anything
Yes,
as
okay.
the new co-chair?
Well, my focus is going to be media, and I hope to work with Matt on that. I'm perfectly comfortable writing press releases and all of that sort of thing, but I know that Matt has probably has one of the best media lists in the area, and I hope I can work with you, Matt, to decide where to send some of these press releases as they get finished. So that's what I'm thinking about.
Fantastic. Claudia, would you like to say anything?
I would just like to say I've been working on the grantee reception gift bags. And I have questions about the budget connected with that. So I've been pricing out, just hypothetically to
We'll
see.
talk more about the grantee reception, go through the budget, go item by item so that we can present that to the large council.
Okay.
So also, I already mentioned about the agenda item request form. I think I will be using that more than Tamar will, but I can always just send all the stuff that you guys give me that refers to the regular large meeting council and copy paste that and send that to Tamar before she sends out her agenda. But I think I will probably use it more than she will. She likes email if you send her emails. Coming up on the calendar for FCC funded events is, of course, Eddie Troxler's Jazz at River Styx, which is happening every Sunday this June at 1 p.m. Past Tense 6 short plays is streaming online for free from May 18th through May 27th. The children meet their ancestors through puppetry event by the Ethnic Arts Center of Somerville. Will be performing at the Fitchburg Housing Authority's Green Acres After School program. And the 85th Regional Exhibition of Arts and Crafts at Fitchburg Art Museum will open June 26th through September 5th. All right, so let's start with FCC TV. Let me screen share. All right, so this is what I have outlined as the schedule for tomorrow. Call time is 4:30 or 5 p.m. for the crew. Guests will arrive, the first set of guests will arrive at 5:15 p.m. for our first episode with the Forge Theater Lab and the Friends of Abolitionist Park. And we'll start filming at 5:30 p.m. till 6 p.m. or 6:15 p.m. And hopefully we'll be able to do that all without needing to edit it later. So how last time we stopped recording and switched the guests out, if we can figure out how to coordinate that in which we just switch them out live. We can do the same thing where we put up a slide. But if we can do that all live, I think we could get this episode out quickly. I'm not sure if Nate is listening, he can tell us how soon we would be able to release that episode if it's all said and done that day, but we could also we could find out from him tomorrow. All right. And then 6 p.m. second episode, guests arrive, and it will be a summer concerts episode, so it'll highlight all the summer concerts that are happening to the with the public. So Coxall Park summer concerts, Concerts on the Commons, Eddie Troxler's jazz concert series, and he can also talk about his Music for Youth program, which is another FCC funded program, and the Fitchburg Military Band. These will be short interviews, a max of 7 minutes, and music clips. And at 6:15, we will start filming that episode and wrap by 6:45, so that it gives us 15 minutes to clean up and reset. How does that sound to everyone? Does that sound overly ambitious?
I think it sounds pretty exciting.
Thanks, Eileen.
I think it sounds good. Totally doable. Do you want to bring an extra shirt so it looks like we filmed it on 2 different days?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I like that idea. Do a clothing change.
Yeah.
A real pro, huh?
This allows us, I've set aside time for 15 minutes between each episode, but there's a 15-minute grace period between the 2 episodes. All right, cool. What else? Do we want to continue the film schedule of every second Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.? Does that work for everyone?
Generally, that should work, yeah.
Yeah, that schedule works great for me.
Awesome. Sometimes that means that our PR subcommittee meeting will be the day before, but sometimes it'll be the week before because we meet on the first Mondays. Does that sound good? Or is that too?
Sounds good.
All right, cool. First Mondays are good. Guess. Eileen, I know I originally asked you to see if you could outreach to guests, but because I feel like there's so much information that we need to gather, maybe it makes more sense if I continue doing the guest outreach, if that's okay.
That's fine.
All right. And let's talk about so I created a guest priority list. And so we have all these guests for June. For July,
Wow.
Jessie has already said that she would like to not all of these, sorry, just the check marks. Check marks are confirmed. Jessie has already said that she would be available or would want to record an episode talking about the 85th Regional Exhibition of Art and Craft in July. So we'll have to confirm that date. We should definitely talk about the community input and grantee reception. I don't think we need to have like a whole guest come in to talk about that, but I just wanted to note that we mention it. But I thought for our other guests, we could have the Fitchburg Public Library talk about their library programs, Tales and Summer Reading Magic Show, and A Fascinating Rhythm. And the Fitchburg Senior Center to talk about sea songs and shanties. Oh, this is kind of becoming a very big so, also New Players Theater Guild. They have a play in August and a play in September. And I thought that maybe the August show could highlight the different school programs and have all the schools on there. If you guys think that that is a good idea, we could do that. If you think that we should just spread it out whenever it works, we can have a less intense July schedule as well.
I think it makes sense to put all the schools together.
Mhm.
It would be an opportunity for different schools to see what they were doing. And I just think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I was just thinking about like, I don't know when parents enroll their kids into the school, but I felt like it made more sense to have that episode before September to say, look at all the neat programs that these schools offer.
Yeah, I agree. Also, if you were thinking about having it to September is such a busy time for families. So I think that's good timing.
So do the August episode can have the Applewild School. They Eileen, I think you saw that email that they did not do their program and will be asking for an extension. So should we not have them for that episode?
I told them an extension is a possibility. At the next meeting, we're going to vote on an extension. I'm suggesting, based on the number of organizations that have committed, have received their money, and this is from 2020 and still haven't been able to do it, I think we should extend it to December 31st for the 2020 crowd.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that at the large council meeting.
Yeah, but you know, just as a matter of point.
Yeah. All right, so I will take Applewild, the Applewild program off the list at least for right now. We can, if they get their extension approved, we can add them back onto the schedule, but just, you know, at a later time.
I think I just want to make a comment, but I think the extensions or any groups should be honored because this has been quite a rough year.
That's true. Claudia,
warrant-
unfortunately,
it-
we can't
it
talk about
warrants-
extensions. Unfortunately, we can't talk about extensions or anything that's not on the agenda
Okay.
at this meeting, but we will certainly be talking about it at the monthly meeting where we can actually vote on it too.
I'm with you, Claudia.
So the Fitchburg High School, Sizer School, St. Bernard's High School, so that's 3 of them. And then there's a couple after school programs, the Fitchburg Housing Authority, Green Acres, and the Boys and Girls Club. So all of these events have technically passed, but it can be a way of like, this is the kind of stuff that they do offer, and we can talk about how that event went. Does that make
Mhm.
sense? And then Casey, what do you think? Do you think that this should be you interview each of them individually, or should we group some of them together?
I think grouping them together would make the most sense.
That makes sense.
And I mean, it'll save us time. It'll give us a good amount to talk about. I'm pretty pro having more than one,
Yes.
not like representative, but yeah, more than one guest at the same time.
Yeah. Nate, are you possibly listening? Are you available right now? No. I called FATV to ask how if they could have 4 guests. They seemed okay with having 3 guests on stage at a time. That might change, but they also thought that it looked a little bit cluttered. So
Sorry,
maybe
can you
have
check for a
3 and
second?
2.
Have our COVID restrictions changed for FATV?
I would
I know-
assume they have, even if they haven't announced them yet. I think it'd be more like Audrey was alluding to, the visual clutter would be more of an issue, like how to
Mhm.
make it work. But I would assume, just given everything else is opening up so completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Nate said that it would change, but I don't know if it has changed yet.
Right.
Okay. So we should
Or-
figure out what exactly will be changed by tomorrow, or not,
Yeah.
sorry, not by tomorrow.
By August.
Yeah, when things are changing in the future. And by that point, you're probably right, Matt. It'll
Yeah. If we were
Probably
able to
just
have
be a
all of
visual
them
thing.
on at once, then that would count as like one section of the episode. So then we could have have
Like a
another
swap
guest
them
on to
out?
talk about a different topic
yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
So that would make things easier. But if otherwise we could split them up in which 3 schools. Yeah, there's a total of 4 schools, so it could 2 and 2.
So 2 and 2 makes more sense. Yeah.
Oh no, wait, unless if we include the after school programs, then that would be like 6.
Audrey, on the shows I've filmed with FATV, it was pretty comfortable at 3. I don't think we could have fit a 4th one in the space comfortably. So I would plan for 3 just to be safe.
Is that 3 bodies on set total, or?
No, 3 guests. and a
Okay.
host.
3 guests and a host.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
And I'm
we-
sorry, that's assuming you have the living room style setup that you have
I
had
mean, we
so
can
far.
rearrange it though too.
Yeah.
Like, make it more like The View. I don't know.
We can move the tables.
Risers or a human pyramid format we could try for once.
Yes. Delightful.
We'll have human desks. Matt and I will just stand there like this, and you guys can sit behind us.
I feel like
coffee on our
there's
back.
something really visceral about like making interviewees answer questions about their personal projects while we're like stacking them like furniture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
True.
They're like,
Be
oh wow, that's
thing.
that's excellent. Go to the top of the pyramid.
Yeah, you on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun gimmick.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So do you guys think that July is a little bit too stacked, or, I mean, we could definitely put the public library and the senior center together, right?
But you haven't connected with them yet, Audrey?
No, this is like planning a who do I reach
Right,
out
so I
to
mean,
for next
there
month?
also could be the issue might be resolved by people not being around either. I mean, I know, like, for example, I was gonna disclose, I'm not gonna be here that second Tuesday in July. So I think a lot of people are gonna be on vacation maybe, so it might be a self-limiting
Yeah.
but I don't know, I think, I don't know, something to be said for density, that's okay.
Mhm.
You know, keeping people to a few minutes per topic isn't bad either.
Okay.
Matt,
so-
you're right about families in the summertime not being around.
Well, on that topic, who is available for July 13th to film? So Casey and I are available. We'll check in with Tamar and Derek to see if that works. Otherwise, is fourth Tuesday at least is Tuesday the 22nd better for people?
That's June, Audrey.
Oh, yeah, June 22nd.
Oh, I mean to move it up, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Um,
that might be hard getting all the guests that quickly, but
I can do the 22nd.
I can do the 22nd.
yeah, we'll keep those in mind. I think for my sanity, it would be better if it was next month. But yeah, we'll see who is available to make sure that we have a crew, because that is important. Cool. Let's see here, it's 5 p.m. already. Did anyone have any notes that we should consider for the next episode from watching? Did everyone watch the episode?
Yeah, not to the final one yet. I'm
Casey's
sorry.
like, yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did.
Does anyone have any comments or feedback about it?
Yes, I have a comment. Comment and feedback. I think that I think it was well constructed. What I would like to see perhaps is something a little bit more in the introduction at the start of the show to sort of identify, what FCC is. As the program was introduced, no one ever said Fitchburg Cultural Council, and so I think that would be important to get that across at the intro.
Like that. Yeah, like
I had
maybe
a-
creating a tagline for the show of "Welcome to FCC
I think that would be
where
a
we
good
highlight.
idea. Also, I would have liked both women who spoke about what they did. They didn't really speak about their goals. I mean, why do you do this? And I think, we should think about, making the thing look more goal oriented.
Okay.
That's a good suggestion.
Anything else? All right, cool. Let's move on. Unless there's anything else. Does anyone want to talk about anything else about FCC TV? Oh, I have one last question. How long do you guys think the audience has an attention span for watching a clip? So for the summer concerts episode, it'll be short interviews spliced in with pre-recorded videos of live performances.
What are you thinking of? What kind of time frame are you thinking of?
I was thinking originally like max 5 minutes, but then I started thinking, is
5
that
minutes
too
is a
long?
lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah.
I would
Jeremy
keep it-
suggested 1 to 2 minutes.
1 to 2 minutes, yeah.
I would
Yeah.
even keep it to a matter of seconds. I think with unless there's some sort of narration over, if you're doing clips of like different summer concert series or performances, you want to keep it to like 30 seconds tops.
Okay.
Yeah, I support what Casey was saying on it. I would try to look at it as more of a news broadcast, and you just want to get like little snippets out just to demonstrate
Mhm.
what these different events entailed, and to kind of hook people to want to learn more, instead of those that are like, I don't really have an interest in that, and I can't wait another 3 minutes for this to finish, so I'm tuning out.
Okay. All right. And so do you guys feel for when the Forge Theater is on our episode, they will be airing a clip of a scene from their play. Is 30 seconds a good amount of time, or should we something like that a little bit longer?
I think 30
would be
seconds
good.
is good.
Yeah, and it's like it's a give or take.
I mean, you see these you see on television, they'll show a snippet from a movie and they'll pick
Mhm.
out something that's interesting, but I doubt they're more than 30 seconds, if that much. And that's
Yeah.
usually enough.
And they get to pick the clip, I'm assuming, right? We're not
Yeah,
choosing the clip.
they're putting something together. I had originally said a short clip and then didn't specify a certain amount of time. So I hope that we don't cut them off by her planning a 5-minute scene. But I can let her know after this meeting that 30 seconds would be a good amount of time.
Yeah, and it's just ask them, it's more of a highlight reel, so to speak, than
Mhm.
show me a full scene.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is the plan, Audrey, that will be cut in live during the show, or is that something we're gonna put in later?
For the Forge Theater Lab and Fitchburg Abolitionist Park, that will be live. For the summer concerts, I have planned to just do it afterwards so I could worry about grabbing the videos later. I can see what I can get done tomorrow to see if maybe we could just cut it live, especially if it's just 30 seconds. That's not too bad. But I think part of my thinking was squeezing in a second episode during that 5 to 7 p.m. studio time limit, having short interviews and a lot of music playing. But if we think that people will lose attention, then we should keep it at 30 seconds. And yeah, so that means that will give us about 7 minutes with each guest.
And that's a long time.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Casey covered a lot of ground with the guests on the first one in confined time, so I think that's good.
Okay, so now let's move on to a call for new members, bookkeeper outreach. Eileen wrote a couple of letters that she was thinking of writing. They're signed by Tamar, but Tamar is not here to give that consent.
Well, she'd have to sign them. We have, to explain, there are 5 small accounting firms in town. I intended, this is an example of one of them, maybe the largest of the 5. And I'm not sure, I picked this out of the phone book. So what I intend to do is call each one of them and make sure I have the right person, and then ask that person if they knew of anybody who would be interested. I really think we'll get somebody from this. I hope so, because I'm acting treasurer now.
This is true. No, Tamar is the chair, not the president.
Yeah, that's right. I picked that up later after I sent this in. So I'll make that change. I'm sure she would have made me anyway. What I intend to do is take them over, get the letters done right, take them over to her and have her sign them. I'd like to get them out before the next meeting,
Joe,
if
is
that's
that
possible.
That's
okay, or?
Absolutely, it's okay. Nothing in this letter requires a vote.
Okay, good.
It's good that the committee's writing out the letter for her. It's covering, we're discussing the content and how we want to recruit people and that sort of thing. That it all works. And we already all have agreed and voted on what sort of positions we're looking for and so forth. And so this is just really rewording it to get the word out to prospects. And if Tamar is not comfortable with signing it, she'll make her edits and then sign it. And
Yes.
I think it'll be fine.
Yes. And as I say, my goal is to get it out this week. Get it done this week. I'm also
Great.
looking at this group will go at first. I think it's, if we don't get anything out of this group, then we'll go to the colleges. I just think they may not be in a position to make any recommendations about students or interns or anything like that until into the year. And I told everybody that I would handle it until we found the right person. And even so, I'm going to continue the job of supporting whoever our treasurer is by doing the communications with the grantees. So it won't be a killer job for anybody who takes it, but I'd like to have somebody with credentials because we are handling state money.
And Eileen, keep in mind as you're talking to people, and if they're asking questions you can't answer or things like that, just mention to them that you can set up a meeting with me, with them, and
Okay.
I can give them the whole rundown. The idea being that I can provide enough information to answer all the questions right there, so they can make a decision as to whether or not they think they're the right fit.
Yeah.
And we
Okay,
can
all
move
right,
along the
that's good.
process faster.
That's
Yeah.
good. Thank you.
Whoever responds and is interested in being our treasurer, they will also be members of our council. So they have to understand that we have to meet a quorum and to attend our meetings and not just show up when there's treasury things involved.
Yes, and I think I hope we'll make that clear.
Does anyone have any notes for Eileen about this letter? There are 2 letters, so this is the first one.
Yeah, I had read them earlier today when you sent them. I thought they looked great. I think the tone is nice, and I think they're candid about what the expectations are and frames it nicely.
I liked both letters, so I have no notes. All right, let's look at the other one. Joe, is the same thing about, so the the press release, what if it was like signed by a specific council member rather than the whole council? Does it still need to be voted upon?
The press
And does it need
release?
to be
No.
approved by the city of by the mayor?
All press releases have to go to the mayor's office for release.
They just have to sign off
They
on the,
don't-
nobody
we
signs a
don't-
press
They don't
release.
need, they don't need to be signed, and correct, Eileen. And we don't necessarily have to vote on them because it's content of something that we all have already agreed to vote on or whatever. Everything we're doing today is already open to the public. We're just formatting on a piece of paper to get it into print, print publications and such.
Okay, all right, that's good to know. So we can look at the press release, and if we think that it's good to go, Eileen would just send it to the mayor to approve, and then they release it. Is that how it goes?
I wouldn't send it without passing it by Tamar first.
Oh,
Just to make
sure.
sure, because she has to.
She's quoted in it.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Just with her name on it.
Yes.
Or with her as chair, everything should be run past the chair.
Exactly.
And just to clarify the process too, so like with the last one about the Open Studios deadline, I ran it by the mayor's assistant, or his chief of staff, and he said fine, and I sent it to the mailing list that I have.
Okay.
They didn't actually distribute it, they just said it was fine with them.
Okay, so
Okay.
it just needs to be approved by the mayor's office.
Okay. And you sent it. Do you want, should I send it to the mayor's chief of staff? Would you?
Or I'm happy to do that if you'd want, Eileen, or if you want to have that muscle memory of sending it to Patrick, I'm happy to share with you his info.
Okay. What I'm
What do you
really,
have?
okay. Yeah, that'd probably be good if you did that. I'm also relying on you to send it to the right media, the press release, because you would know.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and Matt, as I recall in the past, that was what the process was
Yeah.
back when I was chair.
Okay.
Was that I would end up sending it, or someone on the council would end up sending it to the media, but we would just have to get the mayor's approval.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, this is the college one. As I say, it's not, I don't see us really sending this out until school starts again.
It would be helpful because I
And,
mean, I think it'll be helpful to send it out soon, just because if they're an accounting major, they probably have, they have accounting department heads, so the department heads are familiar with their accounting students, whether or not
Well-
they are currently teaching them.
My thought would be if we could get a professional, that'd be better for us. And so that's why I'm suggesting that we send the first letter out, see what happens on that, and then send the other letter out. It's just my preference. I think it would be great to have another professional on the council, but if we can't do that, we'll get an intern or a student.
So I have a thought on recruiting students. The council's grant process starts in September, and it's really not the best time to be bringing on new members. So if there's, I think we should accelerate efforts to get this out now through whatever avenues we can reach students. I know it's the end of the school year, but I'm sure there are avenues to reach students in the area through
I'm
other
not sure that
sources like
in this particular
Facebook pages or
instance,
Instagram.
once again, I disagree. In this particular instance, I think we should wait on students and try to get a professional. I'm afraid, maybe not, but I'm afraid,
Well,
the students will come in first, and
My suggestion was to do it simultaneously.
I know, and that's why I'm
Yeah,
saying I'd
okay.
rather do this first and do students later, like
Okay,
during the
then
school year. The other
That's
thing
fine.
is,
I would
as a
start recruiting later in the fall then, so that we bring them
Okay.
on in the spring.
that's okay, that's fine with me. As a practical matter, what I've said in the press release is that we want to get 4 or more new board members. If we get 4 new board members, they probably won't start until September. So, and that's going to be, we might want to spread it out over time because it's going to be hard for a group our size to bring in 4 new board members at the same time. I guess I'd also suggest, based on my own experience coming on the board, we really need to have some sort of an orientation, explaining what we do and why we do it and where the money comes from. And, I felt pretty lost in the very beginning. And then the pandemic came along and I didn't know what was going on. So I think we should think about some sort of orientation.
I think that's a really good idea.
One last note on the college student piece, just because I live with that every summer when I'm trying to do my own stuff with the students. Students and faculty, a lot of them really unplug for the summer. So I don't know what success we'd have reaching out to students right now, or even faculty members. Now, we have a professional financial services division at the university that like accounting people. I mean, that we could reach out to presently, but in terms of getting like business students or that kind of thing, it's going to be spotty until September.
What do you think about sending out a letter to the professional, to them, similar to the one I'm sending out to the firms? Do you think there'd be somebody in the professional organization at the university that might want to be on the council?
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I'm happy to look into that informally, but if you want to send this along, I can make sure it gets to the right person as well.
Okay, I'll do that, Matt.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. And if we might find somebody there, and that would be interesting.
Right. I mean, I don't know if any of them live in the city. I don't think that's a requirement that they live in Fitchburg. Is that correct, Joe?
They just need to
It's
work in
not-
Fitchburg.
Okay.
Live or
They
work.
need to have an association in Pittsburgh. It could work, it could be volunteer, it would be resident, just something along those lines.
I didn't know volunteer also. That's cool. Does anyone have any notes on this letter? That will likely, I think we're talking about sending it out in September instead of right now,
If we,
or
yes.
sending it out in like November.
In fact, if we find someone, a professional bookkeeper, then we can, it'd probably be good to have some students on the council anyway. So we might just change the letter to go for a student.
All right. Eileen, do you have your press release that you could share?
I sent it to you.
Oh, you did? Okay. Let me see
Yeah,
if I can
this
find it.
morning.
Oh. Okay. Oh, I see. I was expecting it to come from a different thread.
You mean I have you've a couple of emails. I hope I'm getting you one at the right email.
No,
Address.
no. Yeah, I just thought it was gonna be from the agenda thread.
Oh, okay.
So that
Okay.
everyone could see it. Okay, is this the right one? Yes.
Mhm.
All right, so it's just one page. Should we say it's add in the time?
I thought about that. It could very well change. I thought just leave it.
Yeah, if they're interested, they can reach out to us and
Yes.
see if
And we'll
it fits
talk
their
about,
schedule.
yeah.
Looks good to me. Anyone else?
It's
I
short
like it as
and
well.
to
I
the
think it's
point.
good. Yep.
All right, awesome.
I can tell this wasn't your first rodeo, Eileen, reading this. That's very good.
No. No.
Well done.
All right, so annual input and grantee reception. Did you guys look at my links from Mass Cultural Council about the community input meeting versus the grantee reception and how we want to, do we want to focus less on the grant reception aspect of it and be more like how we've done in the past, in which we talk about them at the beginning and then the rest of it is mostly getting feedback?
That was the same, that was the way we did it before the, I thought that was a great meeting. I thought that was just a great meeting.
Yep, that's been the format all along when we've combined them.
has.
We've never strayed from that. So, and it's actually worked really well.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I noted that often they ask for, yeah, the grant reception, they said, is a way to publicize the work of the council. And for to recognize grantees and municipal officials, legislators, and members who make LCC programs possible.
Yeah.
So do we
What I
wanna
liked about it
invite-
was that I saw so many people getting up out of their chairs and crossing over to talk to somebody else who might have, so they were meeting people that they could partner with or do something with. I thought that was great.
Yeah, it was a big networking opportunity really for the public to meet with the artists and make the connections, and it's inspiring. The Mass Cultural Council really would like us to have them separate events, and I agree wholeheartedly and support that. Logistically, it's always been difficult for us to get that worked out, and as we're getting more organized, which we are far more organized now than we were, 4 years ago, that I think we could probably pull it off next year to do 2 separate events. But for now, the combined event with that
Yeah.
format, I think still works well.
Yeah, for the community input, they were saying that they felt like it can be difficult to get people to come to like a town hall type meeting. So they would try to combine it with other things anyways, whether it's like an art exhibit or I don't know, have some performers come or something like that. So combining with a grantee reception does make sense as well.
Adding some kind of an attraction would definitely bring more people in, no question about it. But our public input meetings have been fairly well attended as well, so that's a good thing. We can only make it better by adding that.
Yeah. Joe, do you know how big it was? The not the last one because that was virtual, but the last one that you hosted.
The one before, I think we had almost 50 people. It was really well attended
Yeah.
That's
for a
good.
public meeting.
It was in that first floor gallery, right? There was that one, Joe, right off the community gallery closest to
Yeah,
the arts. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was good. It felt like a happening. It was nice. There were a lot of people there.
A lot of us brought food to it too. Is that what
Mhm.
you're considering this year? I know I brought a cheese.
We'll get to that in
Okay.
a moment. I just realized it's 5:25 already. We only have 5 minutes, so let's go to the budget. All right, so we were thinking pre-packaged snacks. But first, centerpieces. Casey, do you have a number for us?
I don't. I need to know how many people we can fit at a table. So if we have tables that we're getting from the museum or ones that we're bringing in ourselves or renting from somewhere, so I can figure out how many we need.
Claudia, I know that you asked about how many people. How many people did you aim for?
well, I talked to Tamar about it and she gave me the number 65.
65.
Yeah.
Was
All
that for attendees?
For preparing what I'm doing.
Okay.
And
The gift bags, I needed a number. And
Mhm.
I gave her the number 75 and she came back with 65.
does is that number for just grant recipients? Are those the only ones that will receive the goodie bags, or all attendees?
That's a good question that I don't know.
What are people's thoughts? Should what
I
is
think it's
in the
really
gift bags, Claudia?
It would be ungracious not to give everybody something, you know.
Yeah,
So
I think
we should-
we were thinking like as a congratulations grantee kind of thing, but what is in the gift bag, Claudia?
Hold on. I have it's not Schraff's chocolates. It's not the correct name. It's not Hershey chocolates, but they're small little mini boxes with 4 pieces of chocolates in them in a nice chocolate box.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone to City Hall and I'm working on a request of ballpoint pens that would have the city of Fitchburg printed on them, and or Mayor Talley as well, printed on a city pen.
I feel like a city of Fitchburg pen makes sense. I'm not sure about one that has like Mayor DiNatale on it, because then it seems a little bit like we're campaigning for him.
Well, that's correct. I'll go for the city of Fitchburg.
Do they already
So,
have pens,
I
or
don't-
would we need to order them?
That's my next go to when I go back to City Hall and see it for, actually, I haven't got a confirmation on this. So I'll have to go back. So moving on to other things that I'm suggesting is one bottled water. I mean, but you know, not a giant bottle because of the weight.
Mhm.
And packaged crackers or cookies.
Mhm.
Now, the size of the bag, it's not meant to be the size of a grocery bag or whatever. It's, I'm trying to get it, anything mini and light, but complimentary for whoever gets them. So one,
Makes sense then
Two.
that all attendees should get it because it's like our replacement for not being able to do like a cheese tray,
correct.
right? It's a swag bag.
So I'm going to do a mock-up one. Just to see the size of the bags, what is in it, and how, you know, I could put Lay's potato chip mini bags in there if I wanted to. But I would just like to have a couple of things that are meaningful, such as printed ballpoint pens with City of Fitchburg on it. And who doesn't like chocolate?
Yep. It is 5:30. Do people need to go? Joe needs to go.
I got a
Yeah,
few
I
more.
have to go, but go ahead, Matt.
So I got a few more minutes. We want to keep going through this.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry, Joe. We're gonna continue then.
No, that's totally fine. I'm not officially part of the committee, so have fun.
Thank you for joining us so that you could help answer some questions too.
Yes, thank you, Joe.
I try when I can. All right, I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks. Okay, so do you have a how much do you think your the gift bags will cost? The whole thing, or we can do individually.
I have no idea. The only solid price for the small chocolate boxes are $1 a piece.
$1 a piece. And will you be splitting up the splitting that up for each gift bag, or will
Yes.
Okay, so that's for 4 people.
Each gift bag will have 1 box of chocolates in them.
So we'll need 65 chocolates.
Yep.
Okay.
And I have no idea yet on the price of the pens. I don't know if they would, I would like to see them donated
Mhm.
from the mayor's office, but I haven't gotten quite that far.
I think Tamar was going to look into getting branded Fitchburg Cultural Council pens as well.
Okay.
Derek
Um,
Cruz has just gotten his pens running for city council.
Oh
So he
yeah, I
might have
got
a
one of
good
his
idea.
pens.
You got one of, yeah, I got one of his pens too. You might know where to get some cheap ones.
That's true. That's a good point. All right, so we could ask Derek. Would Eileen, would you could you ask Derek?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
I will. Oh, whoops, no, that's for this one.
So I don't have a hard figure. The little packaged cookies or crackers come 6 in a package. but I don't have a price on that, so I will look into that and get back to see if I can get a harder figure for a total budget for gifts.
Do we want to, okay, so we are already at $114 with the few things that have been filled out. Is there anything? Oh, Matt, you had FCC name tags.
Yes, so this is, do we still like this look and feel for these magnetized things?
Wow,
Sure.
looks good to me.
Co sent me the link to the exact product she got, and she still has the Photoshop file for the verbiage on them. And a pack of 24 is like $30.
Okay.
So
Um,
I'm gonna have to sign out.
Claudia, is that was that you?
Yes,
Okay. All right. Should we just present to the council like maybe $500 or $600? Request if we can get $500 or $600 as a budget, and then
try to
Um,
work with that.
Do we, just because I'm not sure if I missed this or not, do we need to worry about having money in the budget for like tables and chairs and stuff like that, furniture?
no,
Okay.
the FAM has them.
Okay, all right.
Yes. They have tablecloths as well. Yeah. So I think just like, it would just be like any like additional decorations that we want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I also found out that apparently the Mass Cultural Council has a connection with a banner making company. And I think putting up a banner would be a really good idea to promote the grantee reception annual input, because we need to get the public's input.
You mean like a banner over Main Street?
Yeah.
Nice, cool, yeah.
I don't know how much that would cost, but I'm thinking like $500, $600 for everything other than the banner and the banner permit, if that makes sense.
Works for me.
Okay, so we can present that to the council to see if that would be approved, or if it needs to be approved by each, by like each individual item of like purchase, but hopefully we can just do that. Cool. Awesome. Very quickly, what do we call this event? I feel like usually we call it the annual input meeting and grantee reception, but do we want to have like a shorter name, or how do we want to promote it?
I think it's, input meeting is very dry to me. I think we should call it grantee reception and networking meeting or something like that. Artist networking meeting, grantee reception, something like that.
But if we need to get the public's input, we have to make sure that members of the public who are not artists realize that we really want them to come to the event to get their feedback on what kind of grants we should fund.
I think for this year, where it's the first time, at least in a while, that we're doing both together, we should, like, I do agree with Eileen. I do think it is kind of dry and it's a little long-winded, but it tells people exactly what's going on. And unless there's a more succinct way to say that.
How about idea session? Grantee awards and idea session, all are invited.
It seems kind of informal to me, though.
Hmm?
I don't know, like, it sounds like a little informal to me in terms of like, it sounds like it's a brainstorming session.
Well, if you
Something I
like
worry about.
input, go ahead with input.
Yeah, we could even just shorten it to grantee reception and community input.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Casey, I think, because
Yeah,
I think that
sure.
it tells the story. I mean, it's not like it doesn't roll off the tongue completely, but it's pretty explanatory.
Yeah.
I would like to put in my little asterisk for this note. Moving forward, if we do them together for the next couple of years, we could think of a fun name and be like, this is FCC Fest, like, or like the FCC Ball or whatever.
Maybe we can ask the group that comes that night, what should we call this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pardon the
that's a good idea.
interruption. You guys
Yeah.
will have to wrap up in about 2 minutes.
Okay,
All right.
Thank
all
you.
right. Thank you, Nate. All right. Anything else? I will update that. Can someone, actually, I don't know, maybe this is more of a large council question, but I feel like we should assign someone to put together the community input survey.
Do we have copies from previous years?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
But if there's like anything else we want to add, I mean, I know that a lot of times it's the same people that are coming back each year. So they're like every time it's answering the same question. So I don't know if we want to change it up or add any more specific questions for this year. But would anyone like to volunteer to, I don't know. I can also ask Tamar to ask the whole council because it doesn't need to be a PR thing.
Yeah.
All right. I will do that. And we can for our Fitchburg Open Studios, we can do oh, actually no, wait, Casey, do you have a flyer for Fitchburg Open Studios for us?
I have the skeleton of a flyer for you. It's cheesy, be aware.
Can you
Let me see if I can
need
pull it
access
up.
to share?
Yes.
Oh, I'm still sharing right now, so let me stop that. Nate, can you quickly make Casey a host?
I actually have to get you guys off this meeting because we have school committee.
I'm going to put it in the folder on Drive so you guys can take a look at it.
Okay.
That'd be great.
In advance, you already have my approval.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, when Casey, I think when you're happy with it, you can distribute it and or at least print out one and put it on the community bulletin board.
Okay.
All right, cool. It is 5:41. Meeting is adjourned.